Here we are on our way to the field. This nice little stretch through here on Howlett Hill Road gives us an idea of how high the telephone lines are. Every once in a while the tarp that's on the combine will graze underneath one, and we send it flying up in the air because we have a little bow on the top of the canvas that lets the telephone line ride up over the canvas here. The trouble is we've got the poles on the left side of the road, and the houses that are on the left, or on the right rather, they're down lower than the road. So what the dummies do is they measure up from the ground up to a spot on the side of the house, and that's where they arrange their height from. You know, taking into account that it's going to droop when it goes across the road. So we just bumped a couple of those. And the other thing is, when they hook up these telephone lines, they are usually standing on a ladder. And I don't know if any of you got on top of a ladder before, but it's kind of hard to pull a line tight so that you can get it secured tightly. Plus, oh, hit that one. Plus, the hot weather allows the metal and the wire to stretch. So we'll be to the field in a few minutes here, and then we'll get the head on and we'll get started. Well, this is the first farm that we are going to cut wheat at. This is the Hudson farm here. We've got five strips of wheat over here. So we've got the grain head staged on the opposite side of the road here, and this is the earliest wheat we have. And yesterday we drove by one of the fields that it looks like it's going to be our last bit of wheat that we're going to harvest, which is up near where Jared lives. So what we'll end up doing once we get this wheat harvested is we will apply manure, and then we'll get these fields plowed up, tear it well. We'll use the tear disc on them, and we'll seed them down to alfalfa. So the corn really doesn't look all that great over here. It's spotty. The corn was planted and then it never rained, so it's kind of poor. So we'll show you what things look like as we get combining across these fields here. And we'll just kind of glance over the top of the field from the cab of the combine here. So I went ahead and brought this head over here this morning early. We had a heavy dew, and I figured we wouldn't be able to get started none too early. It's about, what is it, 12:30 right now. I probably could have got started at 11. But we had some issues with getting things set up and ready to go here. Not real issues, just, you know, the regular things of not being able to find everything that you put away for a later date, like the monitor, or the, yeah, I guess it'd be the monitor for the camera that we use on the grain buggy. We've got an extended antenna for the wireless camera. We couldn't find that, and it was right under our noses. So let me go ahead and stick you guys to something here, and we'll see if we can't get this head attached here. So I went ahead and unstrapped it already, which was probably a bad idea, because if someone were to, if I said, hey, go ahead and move that head cart, they might hook onto it and not realize that, hey, it's not strapped down. So now I have to learn my controller buttons all over again. The chopper button in the center of the joystick on the chopper is for the I gotta move over, is for the spout. The header up and down is the switch that you move the reel up and down and in and out for this flex head. So I'm sure I will be, instead of raising the head up and down like I just did right there, I will be moving my reel up and down. So we are attached. I'll go ahead and hook up my power shaft, hook up my multi-function hydraulic hoses, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Charlotte's going to run the grain buggy. They're going to bring that over here in a little while for her. And there's a couple of trucks already staged over here. So, well, here goes nothing. We have 3 strips on this side of the road. I want to get this strip opened up good so that they can go ahead and move the trucks into the field, and then Charlotte will be able to get them loaded a lot easier. So we have 3 strips on this side and 2 strips on the other side. I've got my 2630 monitor in here. This combine does not like the 4640 monitor. That's why we're using the 2600, 2630, 1800 works in here. The technology is just not quite there for the 4640. I've got my iPad on the left corner post. That is running the field view. I like using the field view. It gives us more of an accurate acreage metering, and it stores the information on another platform. So we'll go ahead and get things dialed in here. Well, so far so good, other than that frickin' light right there, which I must have a broken wire somewhere in between where that separator sensor, which it's in above the straw walkers, and what triggers that light is a closed circuit. So if you unplug the sensor, that light will never come on. So there's wires crossed somewhere. I have it unplugged. I cut the wires on the plug thinking that there was a short inside the actual plug, but there must be a wire that is chafed or something somewhere. So we've got to figure that out. I did have the problem towards the tail end of corn harvest here last year, but we just didn't get that figured out. So we're averaging 75 to 85 bushels to the acre on this outside time around, and the moisture's in at above 13%. You can see that this corn crop is not the greatest. It is very spotty. We've got a lot of skips and doubles and whatever. You'll see that. So we don't have that great of a corn crop. It kind of looks like something that you'd see in an old machinery brochure from way back when. Oh. So that separator light is going on and off. I did unplug it last year, but the trouble is it unplugs this whole panel. If I could do away with just the frickin' buzzer, that would be a lot easier, but it could be the panel itself too. So we'll have to just deal with that noise, I guess. Oh well. We'll keep you posted as things go along here, just crawling along at 2 miles an hour. We can get our ground speed up here in a little while. Once I'm sure everything is working the way it should be, maybe I'll throw the camera over with Charlotte for a while and she can video. And you wouldn't have to listen to this buzzer here. So, alright, we'll catch you in a while. Alright, here goes the first offloading of wheat here. Charlotte's gonna run the grain buggy. Andrew is helping her get set up here right now. And he's actually operating the tractor here. So we're having to deal with this buzzer, which I'm not gonna deal with it much longer once they get over here with some tools. We're going to unplug that instrument panel that's in the headliner. So we got a full bin of wheat one time around. So I'm not going to tell you how many bushel we're getting to the acre because I clearly do not know. But I'm coming up with 120, 130 bushel to the acre. Now we can play with that number. We can set this cal factor on this monitor to show an exaggerated number. I have not done that, but I could do that. Just to give you an idea, I have harvested not quite 3 acres of wheat, and this bin holds about 7,000 to 8,000 pounds. So you can do the math on that in order to figure out about how much we're actually yielding per acre. Most guys anymore on old social media here, they will lie a little bit just to make themselves look better, and they'll make themselves feel better as far as what they tell you they are yielding per acre. We won't actually know what we've actually yield per acre until we run everything across the scale, the actual scale. So this is a 500 bushel grain buggy. It's got about 240, 50 bushel on there. Maybe a little more than that. So, yeah. There's the first bin load. And we'll keep moving here. Pull our auger back in. And yeah. So we went ahead and deleted our buzzer. Pulled that panel down. I just unplugged that, so that's not beeping anymore. Andrew, he's still riding with Charlotte. She hasn't run that grain buggy since last summer at this time. He's going to actually be heading back to the farm, and that first load of wheat is now loaded, and Alex is going to take that into Mayberry's. We're going to start loading the tractor trailer next. Andrew has to pull that tractor trailer into the field. We have the Western Star hooked to the Aulick trailer, and once we get that loaded, Tim is going to take that into Mayberry's. Other than our separator plug light going off all the while and the buzzer blaring. Everything's been going pretty good. There's a shorted wire somewhere between the engine compartment and the cab harness here. There is a buzzer inside there. I can take the circuit board off and possibly unplug the buzzer and then just plug that unit back in, and then at least I'll be able to look up and see a warning light or whatever. But I have to pay close attention to the sounds of the combine here to recognize whether or not I have a problem that I could potentially have or not. So we'll keep plugging away here, but this combine's, oh, what is it, 18 or 19 years old. So it does a good job otherwise, so we'll keep at it here. So Charlotte is running solo now, and we are filling the Aulic trailer. Tim is going to take that here in a little while, and I don't know if I showed you that in the video here or not, but we have the Western Star on the Aulic trailer. Being that we did not put the flotation tires on that truck, that was the first one that was readily available to go right on that trailer. So we've got a little bit of wheat that's down right here. We're probably gonna have to get our next pass going the other way, but I had a bin load on here and we're just gonna have to run with it. So it's yielding really well. Again, I don't know at this point whether it's yielding 85 bushel or if it's yielding 115, or for YouTube's sakes we should just say it's yielding 172 bushel. When you relay a yield number on YouTube, if you don't say 100 or if you don't roll off an even number, if you come up with a an oddball number, then that means it's authentic. You don't say 125 bushel, you say like 127, or you don't say 120, you say 118 or 122 or something like that, just so that it looks like you're actually telling the truth. But more than likely, anybody that relays numbers out on social media, they're lying. And they're only lying to themselves, because once they figure out what the actual number is, Charlotte's got a wad of straw underneath that draw pin, being that we were riding right on that windrow. So we're gonna have to alert her there. So yeah. Back up. You'll have to back up. Alright, so we have unloaded. She should be able to just back up. She's getting out of the tractor to look the situation over there a little bit, but she'll figure it out. She'll figure it out. She's outside the tractor here. We could just give her some hand motion. She's probably gonna call me, but she hasn't got much in there. Just back up. Just back up. Yeah, she should be alright. We'll go up on the headland here, turn back around, and we'll see how she makes out. with that. So we'll get up to the end, go back down the other way, and then we can get that down wheat going the direction that we need to be going in. We'll fold our auger back. She hasn't started moving yet. Yeah, she is backing up now. I think she needs to go a little farther. She got the straw out from underneath the tractor there. We'll just whip this around like so. I think she had that problem last year too, maybe. Yeah, so she's got that. She might get it caught again, but no, she got it. So she'll run over and put that on the aulic, and then Tim is going to take that here in a little while. One more bin, and we'll have that loaded. We've got the 8120 on the grain buggy. Last year we had the... Yeah, she's looking behind herself now, so she knows how that happened. We had the 7200 on that grain buggy last year, and the 7200 is married to a mixer wagon, so that found a job that it can almost handle, and that's where it's going to stay for a little while anyways. So I better send her, yeah. Okay, so let's see if we can pick this wheat up a little better going this other way here. Alright, we'll keep her going. We've got on this section of the road here, or this piece, we've got one more piece over there. And as you can see, we've got a sporadic stand of corn there. We've got some skips and some doubles. Mainly it's skips, it's not so much doubles, it's just spots where the corn didn't come up, and it looks just absolutely terrible. But it is what it is. This is picking up a lot better. We have everything getting cut off clean. Whereas we've got some of that right there laid over a little bit. It picked up all the grain, but it left a little bit of the straw. Well, I do have a little bit of grain still standing right there. So we can come back through here and recut that. We just gotta watch how the straw ends up going through the combine is all. Picking that up pretty good. Well, so far so good, other than we do not have the ability to see any warning lights because I have that overhead cluster unhooked. And the other thing the other problem with that is if I set the park brake, I have to remember to release it because it's not going to it's not gonna alert me here if I have the park brake on, so you could cause a fire. So, well, this will give you a short little glimpse into wheat harvest for 2023. It is 9 o'clock. The straw is starting to get a little tough, but the grain is down below 13%. I think we're gonna call it quits right here. We're due to get a bunch of rain here tomorrow. We're going a little bit later than we regularly run on doing wheat harvest like this, but it's starting to leave a little bit as far as cotton goes, and I really don't want to plug this thing tonight and have to deal with digging a combine out tomorrow in the rain. So just a short little video here, but it'll give you an idea of what things look like for wheat harvest 2023. That's a sprayer track right there. It's not a skip or anything. And the yield on the wheat it's pretty good. It's not too bad. So we'll have to rake all this straw after the rain moves through and get it baled up, get some manure on this ground, and then we can start the seeding process here. So that's gonna do it for this one, folks. I want to thank you for watching, and we will catch you at the next one.